Where am I? What am I supposed to do? Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 most confusing video game levels. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we looked at video games with levels or areas that left us completely baffled or lost due to the layout, progression, and possible goal of the stage being abstract or unclear. Number 10, The Great Maze, Super Smash Bros. Brawl. The final level before a boss is usually a test of what the player had learned up until that point, but this has taken it too far. In the penultimate level to the game's Subspace Emissary mode, in order to reach the end goal, the player has to search multiple sections of this giant maze in order to defeat specific boss characters in order to unlock the door to the final boss. These range from shadow versions of certain fighters to repeats of exclusive bosses found earlier in the game, and a lot of them are very hard to find. It's also a very long level, so long in fact that Nintendo actually put save spots and warp points throughout the area. Number 9, Silph Co, Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue. Gotta catch them all. That's a simple goal, right? Well, you know what's not so simple? Traversing a maze-like level by stepping into teleportation devices with no clear indication of where you're gonna end up. The only true method or strategy in this one is trial and error, testing out each teleporter and memorizing where each one brings you. Unfortunately, your memory and patience might be tested, as your trek to each teleporter is often interrupted by a Pokemon battle with a member of Team Rocket. Okay, cool, the battles are kind of fun, but once they're done, it's right back to battling the stage itself. Number 8, Limbo, Doom. Let's recap here. This is a level called Limbo in a game called Doom. Yeah, you're basically screwed, buddy. While old-school first-person shooters were far less linear than they are today, with more open-ended level design, Limbo takes things a bit too far. The level is excessively large, with way too many corridors to explore. Combine this with the fact that the graphics of the time were far more primitive than they are today, and everything looks kind of the same. This can obviously lead to confusion as the player is unable to differentiate one area from another, eventually going in circles trying to find the exit and ultimately finding themselves stuck in limbo. Number 7, Subterranean Hideout, Star Wars Dark Forces. If the goal here was to accurately recreate the dank, unpleasant, and winding structure of navigating sewers, well, mission accomplished, I guess. For starters, this level is way too big for its own good. Add to this the aforementioned limited graphics capabilities of the time to render a 3D environment, and you have everything looking mighty similar. It's just one dark, winding, gray, sewage-filled corridor after another. The worst part is the tunnel sequence in which you have to ride a filthy water current. But one wrong turn and you'll have to start the whole thing over again. May the force be with you. Number 6, World 8 Fortress, Super Mario Bros. 3. Naturally, you'd expect the final world of a game to provide a hefty challenge, but this is just too much. This late game level shifts away from a standard linear design to a maze-like structure with countless doors, all containing a very specific route that the player must traverse in order to move forward. While that's already quite a bit to handle, that's not even the real kicker here. In order to successfully finish the level, the player has to hit a P switch to activate a hidden door. But the problem is that the switch actually activates 2 doors, and because they're on a short timer, it's very easy to miss that second correct door. Oh, Nintendo, you and your old sadistic shenanigans. Number 5, The Gutter, Dark Souls 2. Prepare to die? Well, more like prepare to have no idea where to go. The Gutter lives up to its name as a deep, dark, and wildly unpleasant cesspool of despair. It's impossible to see basically anything in the darkness without turning up the brightness on your TV monitor, something which doesn't really make navigating the treacherous area any easier. as is the case with most confusing levels, nearly all of it looks the same, with very few details or landmarks available to differentiate between where you are and where you've been. Granted, it's much easier if you bring a torch and light fires as you go, but even still, this makes Blighttown look easy. Number 4, Vivec City, The Elder Scrolls III: Morrowind. For its time, Morrowind was a mind-blowing technical achievement. The landscape is massive and ready for you to freely pillage and explore. Of course, nothing is perfect, and this sweeping scope can occasionally be too big. Case in point, Vivec City. Vivec seems to stretch on forever, with an overwhelming number of buildings or cantons for you to explore. Of course, the biggest issue is that, altogether now, everything looks the same. Even more frustrating is the fact that Vivec is a city and not a dungeon with one clear direction to go. So finding the armorer or the fighters guild makes the expression finding a needle in a haystack seem pretty easy by comparison. Number 3, the Atlantean Stronghold, Tomb Raider Gold. Who doesn't love some extra content for their favorite games? The original Tomb Raider received an enhanced version 2 years later, including brand spanking new levels. It's too bad that the Atlantean Stronghold level that they added was claustrophobic, unclear, and basically a disaster. It suffers from that age-old feeling of, where do I go and what do I do? With tons of cramped environments and uncertainty in terms of where the player is supposed to be going in order to progress. You'll have to move slowly to boot, as there are a bunch of jumps that are tricky to pull off, which can set you back big time if you miss. Tomb Raider was golden enough without this infuriating addition. Number 2, Water Temple, The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Ask any gamer and they'll probably tell you that Ocarina of Time is a masterpiece, save for that Water Temple part, to which they will probably begin to share some of their repressed memories on the hours they spent there. The constant shift of raising and lowering the water restricts access to some of the doors in the temple, forcing constant backtracking. There's also the rare chance of players getting stuck permanently, as some routes in the temple require multiple keys to clear through, but don't offer you enough keys to try other doors that are available. Luckily, the 3DS remaster fixed most of these problems and added some helpful color coding, but it's still pretty tough. Number 1, Modron Maze, Planescape Torment.
May my faith lend me strength.
The preceding entries are confusing, but at least they prepared you well enough to try and overcome their obstacles. The Modron Maze, on the other hand, feels completely random when compared to everything else that came before, hence all the confusion.
I'm gone.
The maze is procedurally generated, which means that the area is being rendered in real time, so there's no warning or anticipation as to how things will actually play out. It won't take long before a sense of utter hopelessness takes over the player, as they struggle to find some clear path through a maze that's just making itself up as they go. The sad part is, the rest of the game is really good, you just have to figure out some way to get there first. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.